Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, let me introduce myself. My name is Putri Widya Wardhani, and in this time, I will explain about clauses and clause complexes. The first material is clause. Clause is the highest rank, which is the largest grammatical units. In the clause, divide into two types. The first is minor clause, and the second is major clause. Minor clause is the clause who has no predicator. In English, minor clause includes address or vocative, greeting, and exclamation. In the major clause is the clause who has predicator.
For example, John invited the Wilson to the party, but they didn't come. Invited and come is indicators of the major clauses in English.
In the major clause, there are independent clause and dependent clause. Independent clause is the clause that can stand alone, and dependent clause is the clause that cannot stand alone.
For example, although Tony is intelligent, he failed. Tony is intelligent is independent clause, and he failed is dependent clause.
In the independent clause, there are elliptical clauses and non-elliptical clauses. Elliptical clauses are clauses that are missing or leaving one or some parts.
For the example, A. What is your name? B. Brian. A. What is your name is indicators of the non-elliptical clause. B. Brian is indicators of the elliptical clauses. Listener and or readers can understand the clauses they read or talk since these bits are recoverable from accompanying text. Dependent clause. Independent clause must either be initiated by a subordinating relator such as since, if, although, because, and etc. The second, a relator WH word such as who, which, when. And the third, relative word that. And or. The verbal group functioning as the predicator must be in one of following forms. First, perfective or infinitive to plus verb. In the second, imperfective or participle, verb plus ing.
In the dependent clause, there are embedded clause and non-embedded clause. Embedded clause is a part of the structure of a group, which itself is the constituent of the clause.
For example, the prisoner who hid in the ticket escaped. The embedded clause above served to define which prisoner it was who hid in the ticket to distinguish this prisoner from some others.
And non-embedded clause is a dependent clause which functions in its own rights.
For the example, the prisoner who hid in the ticket escaped. The non-embedded clause above function to add more information about the event that said the prisoner hid in the ticket.
And the second material is clause complexes. Clause complexes is two or more clauses connected logically. There are two basic relation connecting clauses in complex clause. The first is logical semantic relation and the second is taxes. The first is logical semantic relation. In logical semantic relation, there are expansion and projection. Expansion is links clauses by providing additional information. It involves the three types of relationships. The first is elaboration, the second is extension, and the third is enhancement. The first one is elaboration. Elaboration is one clause expands another by elaborating on it.
For the example, this stew is awful. It means it's too salty.
And the second one is extension. Extension is one clause extend the meaning of another by adding something new, such as and, but, or.
For example, I major in linguistics and my brother majors in literature. And is indicating of the extension.
The third one is enhancement. Enhancement is one clause expand another by qualifying it with some circumstantial features, such as after, if, before.
For example, they made the lecturer angry because they did not pay attention to the lecture. Because is indicators of the enhancement.
And the second is projection. Projection is links clauses by having one process projected through another by either quoting and reporting. In the projection, there are locution and idea. The first is locution. Locution is a construction of wording, occurs in verbal process, indicated by double quotes.
For example, the conductor said the next concert is in July. Double quotes is indicators of the locution or verbal process.
And the second is idea. Idea is a construction of meaning, occurs in mental process, indicated by single quotes.
For example, Atto, the next concert is in July. Single quote is indicators of the idea or mental process. And the second is taxes. Taxes refer to the dependence of clauses in a clause complex. It is divided into two types. The first is parataxis and the second is hypotaxis. Parataxis is coordination relationship. One clause follows on from another, marked by number 1, 2, 3, and etc. Clauses refer to being initiating or continuing. And the second is hypotaxis. Hypotaxis is subordination relationship. One clause dependent on another, marked by Greek letters such as alpha, beta, gamma, and so on. Clause refer to being dominant or dependent. Alpha marks the dominant clause, but alpha doesn't necessarily come first in the clause complex.
Okay, I think enough for my explanation about clauses and clauses complex. I do apologize about a lot of my mistaken, and see you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.